welcome back to another video. Today is day 5 of the 12 days of Christmas. We are flying by these. I'm so excited. I love how each look is turning out. So today, of course, is the 5 golden rings. Now, has anybody noticed that this song is quite bird heavy? There's a lot of birds. It's like the first 4 days is just straight birds, and on the 5th day you get golden rings. So it's like, I don't know, if I got this, I feel like I would be relieved on the 5th day and be like, oh, finally something other than birds. We have a lot of birds. And it's like, yay, golden rings, I love these. And then on the 6th, 7th, it's like, more birds. It's very bird heavy. Of course, we're not just gonna draw golden rings on us. We gotta do a wintry scene. So I'm thinking we're going to have Santa's workshop. I think we're going to have a Santa. I think we're going to have some deer. And we're going to try and fit the golden rings somewhere in there. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, day 5 already. Wow. After 4 very bird-heavy gifts, it is finally time to move on. Or is it? Now, it is said that the 5 golden rings means the 5 books of the Old Testament. And that is the Bible version of the 12 Days of Christmas, but another explanation that is from Mike Bergen. He said that the song, and this is his quote, "The song's bizarre switch from the 4 birds to 5 pieces of jewelry and then back to 6 birds actually makes perfect sense. The 5 golden rings are likely a reference to the ring-necked pheasants." Now, those birds were quite popular back then, so that is possibly why we went from so many birds to jewelry, is because it's not actually jewelry at all. So a ring-necked pheasant, they usually will stride across open fields and weedy roadsides among the US and southern Canada. Now, they're quite common to see, so you may have seen one. I have definitely seen one, but I didn't know that it was that. I thought it was a rooster. Because the males have iridescent copper and gold plumage, not quite sure. But that is where the gold rings would come from, is that gold coloring. They also have a red face with a crisp white collar. And their rooster crow can be heard up to a mile away. So that's probably why I thought it was a rooster, because I didn't know what a pheasant was, besides, like, on TV. Now, with the females, they are more brown with paler scaling on the upper parts and cinnamon-colored underparts with black spotting on the sides and thin black bars on the tails. So originally, the lyric from the 12 days of Christmas is that it was originally 5 gold rings, which would match the bird's iridescent copper and gold colorings and that ringed look. But over time, it has been changed to 5 golden rings, and that's usually why people would go straight to thinking jewelry from maybe a bird. But it makes perfect sense to stick with the bird theme for another couple of days, and then finally we go to people. Now, hearing that part out loud, that also sounds quite strange that we're gifting people. 8 ladies milking, 9 lords sleeping. I'm not quite sure, but that's still strange. But anyways, let's just get into the makeup look. So what I'm doing right now is just mapping out the look that I want, drawing all the pieces. So we have Santa's barn, or Santa's workshop, we have Santa Claus, and we have the deer. Now, I accidentally made Santa Claus pretty much the same size as his workshop, so I tried adding like some mountaintops and just making it hopefully like look like Santa's really up close and the barn is back further, which is why like I made the deer right there. But I'm not great with proportions, and you'll just have to use your imagination. So I originally drew it out. I showed you guys the Pinterest inspiration that I'm using for these drawings. I love Pinterest. They just have so many wonderful ideas and easy to draw out photos, and I just love Pinterest. So I really struggle to draw out this deer. I am not a animal drawer. That is not my forte, but we did it, and I think it turned out pretty good. So now it is time to fill in the deer. So I'm taking my aqua liner, the brown, and kind of like an auburn color, so I just call it auburn. So I'm just filling in the deer. So I decided to do piece by piece. So I'm gonna do the deer first, and then I'll do the building, and then I'll do Santa. And I find that worked so much better doing it that way than trying to do all of the brown and then all of the red. It just made it so much easier, and you can see the look come together. So what I did is I originally started with the dark brown and outlined the entire deer and filled him in, and then with small brush strokes, so with a very, very small fine brush, I went in with that lighter brown, that auburn, and just kind of did like little brush fur strokes to make it look like he was fuzzy, because he's living in the North Pole. He's got to have some fur with him. He can't just be a shaved naked deer. That's not gonna work. So then I went in with the black and white aqua liner that I originally started with for the outline, and drew in his eyes, outlined him, and just kind of did all of his details, his nose. I know I could have done Rudolph, but I wanted just to stick with the Santa theme right now and maybe do Rudolph in another thing. But I love how this turned out, and I think the details really brought it together. Alright, so now we're working on the building. So I did a little bit of the green for the garland, and that is where the golden rings are going to be, because before I did this look, I didn't know that they were actually pheasants. So that's why I didn't do pheasants, because I didn't know. So that's why we're doing actual golden rings. But it is what it is. So right now I'm working on the candy cane siding and candy cane floor of the building, because of course Santa's workshop is going to be candy cane themed. So what I did is I started off with the red and filled in anywhere that the red is going to be, so the boards, the outline of the floor, and then I went in and did like the white stripes and filled in like the white sections, just so that they weren't bleeding, because I don't want a pink candy cane, I want a red and white candy cane. We gotta keep it traditional. And then I just did any sort of detailing. I filled in the Santa's Workshop sign, which I will draw the Santa's Workshop, like write it out in black after, which you will see, and just did some detailing. Alrighty, so I used the brown that we did for the reindeer and filled in all of the siding and the roof and added some more snow to it. In a minute here, you're going to see me add some windows. So I used the yellow face paint thing, nope, not aqualiner, what are they called? Water activated face paint. And put in the windows to make it look like there was lights on because, of course, all the elves are working. I mean, there's like, what, 5 days till Christmas? 7 days? I'm not sure. I think there's 7 days till Christmas. But yeah, so we added that in. I added some wreaths to the front door and really just Christmasified this place. So now we're working on Santa. So he's pretty easy. All you got to do is put in his red suit. So I started off with the outline of the red and then filled it in, but I wanted to make sure that I can see the difference between the red and his like arm and all that stuff. So that's why I left his arm out at first and then went over and started doing the black outline so that I can see the difference between his suit and all that. And then I went back in and filled it with some more red. And with the black, I'm using the black from the Magic Cake palette and the Ben Nye, just because I didn't want it to be super dark black. I just wanted like a little bit more of a watery black, and that's what I found that the Magic Cake palette, probably because it's like 10 years old, is a little bit on the lighter black side. So that's what I used, and then I filled in his boots. For the beard and all of that, I used the white aqua liner and just kind of added his face. I added his hat. Just like, oh, you know, I did the details. Just watch. Okay, so I just added in the Santa's Workshop sign. I used my foundation for Santa's face, and for the blue, it was the blue from Snazaroo. I lost the footage of it, unfortunately, so I just did everything that was like ground and the cream white from Ben Nye for the snow. And then for the blue, like I said, was Snazaroo. And then for the golden rings, I used the Mehron 30 color paint palette and used the beautiful metallic gold shade and just added my golden rings and I used a little bit of eyeshadow to give it more of a pop. And I did the same for Santa's belt. Now I'm working on the trees. So I started off with the dark green, started off at the very top of the tree and just started like feathering it out, making sure that the bottom of the tree is a lot bigger than where the top is. And I'm trying to make this like look like two trees, so that's why it's a humongous tree. I'll end up like with the other colors making it look like two trees that are just overlapping, because I really needed to make Santa look like he is in front of everything where the building will be kind of behind. So that's why I started off with all of the dark green, and then after that I went in with a lighter green and a little bit of a neon green and did the exact same thing. As you can see here, I'm just doing the exact same thing but over top, so you can still see the dark green. I did not want to cover it, but I wanted to have some more greens to it. And then I did the same with a little bit of white to add some snow kind of being stuck to the trees. And then, of course, with the same that we do in every single look, I used a dotting tool and added the snow. So now we're working on the face. So I did the eyeshadow with the Peanuts X Wet n Wild palette, Merry Christmas Charlie Brown, and started off with Good Grief. I packed that onto the outer corner and blended it inwards, and then cut the crease, used Snowflake to put a little bit of a shimmer shade on, just to have a little bit of like a snow effect, and then blended the edges together with Good Grief once again. Wiped away all of the excess, and then went back in with the same gold face paint that we used for the golden rings and Santa's belt, and just did a winged liner, and then added 5 little dots just to again represent the 5 golden rings. And then I'm using the e.l.f. CC Camo foundation, the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, Physicians Formula bronzer stick in shade Toffee, Rare Beauty cream blush in Nearly Rose. And once I added all of that, I love these products together. I love just having cream products. I just feel like it all blends together, and honestly, I just love makeup. I can talk about it for hours, but that's not the point of this video. I powdered everything with the So Much Fun powder from Wet n Wild, the e.l.f. Brow Lift I used for my brows, Kylie Highlight, Kylie Blush, and for the bronzer, again, I don't know where that footage went, but I used the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer, and for the eyelashes, I actually have no idea where the lashes are from. I got like this whole Amazon bundle, but I don't know where the link went, so I'm so sorry. But I would love if you would subscribe to the channel and join the family, ring that bell to never miss another one of videos. This is the final look, and I gotta say, it is one of my favorites. I'm so proud of how this look turned out. I love it to bits, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you're doing tonight. I am just sitting in my new apartment editing, and I'd love if you would follow me on my other socials, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!